Hey there guys, Odin is my name and I'm a photographer from Iceland. I love old cameras. Uh, Often I will go on YouTube to look for some information about some cameras, but for this one I really haven't found anything. I've found some information to read about it, but to see it, to see someone holding it, showing it, no. So, voila. So, what is it? This is a Franka camera, Franka Solida I. They were produced from 1953 until 1960 something. There were a few different versions of the Solida cameras. There was, of course, Franka Solida, there's Solida I, Solida II, Franka Solida III, there is Solida Junior, and I have a little info over there, Solida Record. Then there was a really rare camera, I believe. This was Solida 35. It was the only 35mm camera made. I've never seen one myself, but maybe one day. Maybe. But at least this is the one I have. It's a cheap camera, but it's a good camera. So, it is a folding camera. You press this button here, and it pops open. It has these cute little bellows here. Then, because there's no rangefinder in it, you would need an external one, or guessing your distances. There was, back in the day, there was this old Vata meter, I believe it's called, that you could put on top here on the cold shoe, and then you would do like your reading on the distance. You would take the number from a Vata meter or the rangefinder. You would transfer it over to the lens, the distance. Then you would have a light meter, take that reading and set your aperture, which you will do here. This one goes for 3.5 to f32, and you will set that accordingly. Then you will do your shutter speed. This one doesn't offer you much. It's a 25, it's 50 and 200. Then of course you have a bulb setting, so you can do a longer exposures and you can put it on a tripod. Here is for your shutter release, and even if you want to use a flash, there's the PC sync here connector, so you can put like a flash on top, put it on the cold shoe and your cable in here, or maybe have a studio light or something. Personally, I have an Elechrome ELB 400 unit. I connected this camera to that unit once and it worked like a charm. So, I mean, the lens, this is not one of the higher end ones, but it's still a good camera. The lens is an astigmat Franka. It's a 75mm lens on it, 3.5, and yeah, I mean, it can produce pretty cool pictures. It's sharp. There's one thing that you need to be careful about. Well, I remember, and I've heard about people doing this, that when you're twisting this here for your distance, then this unit moves a little bit back and forth. If you're going to close it, by the way, you press this little guy here. You need to be really, really careful, and especially if it's all the way like down here. Now it stops. Don't force it, you will break it. So every time you're closing one of these cameras, put it on infinity. Then it closes just really, really smoothly. There's this tiny little window here that you look through. Luckily my camera, this copy of this camera is in a really good shape. There's no haze or anything going on, so everything is really, really bright and like crystal clear. which is really, really nice. To open up the film back, you push this little guy up here, and you can open up the film back. You will, of course, put your new film in here. I just have an empty spool here. You will put your empty spool in here. You can pull this one to open it up. Then you can do it like this. You will put your empty film spool here. Just like in so many other cameras, then you just stretch it over. You will twist this guy here. Then you simply close it. There's a window here, and you will twist it all the way until you reach number 1. Okay. There is one thing about this camera though, there is that she has a double exposure lock. So, because now I have advanced the film, and so I have opened it up. I can't take my shot, so I will do what I need to do. I will set my distance. I will take my light, the reading on the light, and I will choose the aperture. I will set my shutter speed. I will cock the shutter right here, and I take my shot. Now I can't take any shot. So I will cock my shutter. See, I can't take any shot. So I have to advance, and there's a little click. There we go. I'll set it to frame number 2. Now I can take the shot. The best thing, like I do it personally, every time I take a shot, I will just advance to the next frame and an infinity, and I will close it until I take my next shot. Of course, if I'm shooting multiple shots in a row, then maybe I'm not closing it, but it's not every time that I will shoot all 12 frames just right now. So this is a cool camera, trust me guys, this is a cool camera. It's very capable of doing amazing pictures, really sharp, and you can find them pretty cheaply on, well, eBay, probably in some thrift stores, Goodwill or whatever. If you find one or come across one of these, I recommend them, I truly do. And you will get some great results, you can absolutely guarantee it. Let's have a look at a few shots that I have taken with this camera, and then I just wish you have a great day.